Hello ladies and gentlemen, I'm the Serious Strategy Gamer and this is Taskmasters, where every Tuesday I go up against 5 other YouTubers to design ships in Ultimate Admiral Dreadnoughts. Now this week we want to take a dip at the new hulls that have been delivered with the latest patch, so we are going to do a team task where one of us is going to build a French new battleship and one of us is going to build a British Battlecruiser, Super Battlecruiser, and we're going to go up against an Austro-Hungarian fleet in 1940, don't ask me why, of 2 battleships, 2 battlecruisers and 10 transport ships. So we're going to be playing in 3 teams here. I'm with History Guy Gaming. He's going to be designing the battleship, so I'm going to be focusing on the new British Battlecruiser, and I'm very excited because I haven't really tried that out yet. So yeah, there we go, 1940, it is 20,000 meters of engagement range against Austro-Hungarians. That's lovely. And we're going to be playing against 2 battleships, 2 battle cruisers and 10 transports. Let me just double check that. Yeah, that sounds about right. So here's the twist of this week's turn. All of these ships are going to be worth a couple of points, but I don't think this is going to be relevant at all, because to us, our points are going to be measured by sinking enemy ships. I think 10 for the battleships also. I don't know. But for every single gun barrel that we have on this ship, primary or secondary, we do score a point. And I think this is going to be much more relevant than any of the other ships, provided that our ship does survive the engagement. So our task really here is to fit as many barrels on this ship as we can possibly fit on there. And that's why I already increased the displacement here to 82,000 tons, which does apparently do funny things, as clearly our dock space here is way too large for this ship. So that's the new hull. It does look pretty, despite the fact that it's overflowing there a little bit. And we're going to do a couple of things here just to set out. Just doing the sort of things that you would expect to be in here, namely just going up here with sort of all of the things that would cost us a lot of money. I'm a little bit twisted. I have seen Brother Monroe doing fantastic things with tube powder, so I think this time we're going to go for that. We're going to go for probably the shorter ranges here, and all of that. That should be okay. I'm not actually sure that they would have torpedoes. How much weight is this? None? None at all? Oh, well, I haven't placed down any towers yet. Okay, so let's start with that. We basically have the chance of these guys. Now, again, this is going to be a lot about the space. They're just looking the same, don't they? Okay, so we're going to use the best one possible. We're going to place that somewhat to the rear here. For these guys, we either have the compact one or the advanced one. Now, the advanced one do have a couple of things, but I think the compact ones here are going to be a lot better for us in terms of placing down a lot more gun barrels, because we will need all of the surface space here that we can get. Let's look at funnels. Well, I'm guessing the mega funnel here is going to be the best thing that we have. It's going to leave to 52% engine efficiency. Do we need to be that fast? Well, maybe not. Okay, this is a little bit more than we need. If we were to go to induced and then maybe dial that down a little bit, where do we hit 100%? Or around about 31 knots. That might be a little bit too low for my personal preferences. So let's go back to forced. And what I'm going to do then is place a somewhat smaller exhaust pipe in here. Yeah, I think probably these 2 are going to be... Yeah, that's beautiful. 93%. And I do like the setup over there. So, we are nevertheless going to go up against 2 battleships and 2 battlecruisers. So I think we definitely want some good centerline guns here. Now, 15-inch guns would be Mark IV. Let's have a look here. That is penetrating 52 inches. Now, no. I think 18 inches of armor are fine. We're going to probably place the honor barbette here, simply so that we have a super firing structure. Now, does a very tall barbette do it? Probably not, but sometimes the game is weird like that, and indeed it does allow us to do that. I'm really not sure that this should be legal, but it is, so that's fine. Right, so that's the core part of our setup over here. We do need to think about the forward offset here. Yeah, that's, I think, the core part of our setup here. We will want these guns here. We have some super heavy shells. I do think we want probably auto reloading. But that's probably it in terms of what we need here. Let's do some anti-flooding. I think that's going to be alright too. We do have very good passive defenses over there. But then the next thing is going to be secondary guns. And I think very obviously we do need to go for simply the maximum amount of secondary guns here that we can possibly fit on here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to plaster as many secondaries in here as humanly possible. That is going to take a while, I think, though, so I'm going to actually do that off camera, and you guys can rejoin me once I've placed down everything. So see you guys in a second for you. And here we are, so just 1 hour later in design time, you do find us with probably the most ridiculous ship that I've ever built. So let's zoom into this beauty here, and we've of course completely plastered this in secondary guns. The game does inform us that a lot of these guns do have a poor rate of fire, which is putting it mildly, because everyone in here can't fire at all. So it's pretty much only the outer row of these guns that can fire. And by the way, just do look at them. They are actually overhanging. So it did take a little bit of fiddling, but I was able to get these guys sort of on that. It's barely possible to see that, but they're just barely holding onto the side there. Oh, sorry, didn't mean to do that, of course. So we do need some guns, I'm afraid, so let's do keep that in. But yeah, you can absolutely see that we are smashing it with the secondary guns. I only left a couple of 5-inch guns on the superstructure here, simply because we can only fit one thing in there at all. So I thought it was fair to go a little bit higher in caliber, even though we are not really facing any destroyers or anything like that. So it's kind of fun. Though, to be honest, the design in its entirety, I don't know what to make of that. Maybe it's an AA battleship one also, and these are all anti-air guns, but I can't fathom it. So let's look at how many guns we've got. So we've got a couple of underwater torpedo tubes, I'll discount these, but we've got basically, that's 24 and that's 315, so that's overall 977 guns. I was hoping that we could break the 1000, but probably only if we get rid of at least one of these turrets here. And I don't think that is something that we do, because we do want to keep this guy functional in that it can actually engage 2 battleships and 2 battlecruiser of the same time period. So that's not going to be an easy task, but just my oh my, I don't know what to make of that, guys. Do let me know whether you think there's some other space where we could put some stuff in. Just to give you 2 of the other parameters, we are 35 knots here. We did go for Barbette 1. We did go for tube powder, auto-reloading, hydraulic turrets, good rangefinder at a short range. And for Battlecruiser, I must say, even though we are kind of fast with 35 knots, I did manage to put in a lot of armor here, because basically the big guns here didn't really account for that much armor. So we've got now 30-inch belt armor and 21-inch extended belt armor. Slightly less deck armor, but I do think if we are managing that speed and if we were running to the enemy very fastly, I think that should work. So big issue here, of course, is the forward offset, but there's only so much I can do about that with this design. Otherwise, I would have needed to put one of the turrets maybe in the back. But I'm not convinced that that would have been such a good idea. I think we are much better off at a closer range here with our excellent armor and hoping to undo the enemy that way, by the way. So, super heavy shells, I think I didn't mention that, and we do have fast torpedoes. So, even though we've got only a couple of them, I do think it might be useful just to come in aggressively here. Maybe engage some of these transporter and so on. Right, let's have a look at the enemy. So we've got the battleships over here. These guys do carry 9... Weird, that's a very old design. And 9 turrets, or 9 guns of what caliber exactly is that? That is a 14-inch caliber. And you guys here, the Battlecruisers, you also have a 14-inch caliber. Now, that is particularly interesting. And you guys actually have more. So that's absolutely interesting, because probably the battleships here will be much better armored, but the battlecruisers have more guns. So that does lead me to believe that I should probably target the battlecruisers first rather than anyone else. Right, let's try to come right at you. We're going to try to use the... Just look at that. Just it's ridiculous. Right, nevertheless, yeah, let's try to get there. Let's try to get there fast. And we're going to open fire here as soon as we can, potentially against these enemies. The 5-inch guns do have a range like that. You know what, we can target that transport ship there with the 5-inch guns if we do get in range there. A lot of 14-inch shells coming in already, but there we go. That's our first salvo here. And I'm really hoping that they're not going to do too much damage here at range, because at this range, they really do stand a good chance of, well, penetrating our deck here. By the way, at what range can we basically pan them? Or at what range could they pan us? Probably not that much, really, if we are getting close. Of course, the armor, the deck armor, is so light that is a whole different question. But yeah, let's try to get in here as fast as possible. Right, no hits being scored, and I say that and immediately we are getting some hits here on us, but you know what, we'll have to live with that, I think. Right. Whew, I'm really intrigued because we've got a lot of guns, there's no doubt about that, but I'm not sure whether we have compromised our design too much. And that is really difficult to tell. Right, let's accelerate time a little bit more right while we are closing in. I think it would be nice to compare, by the way. So what's the hit chance that we've got? It's 4.5 on you. Yeah, but we've got even a bigger hit chance here on these bigger ships. So that's interesting. I think the battleships are not really the most dangerous aspect here. We are down to 17 kilometers, which is good. Because again, the closer we are, the more likely that they're going to hit our side and not our squishy top. I think last time around, Brother Monroe called my design a bathtub, an armoured bathtub, because I was so sight heavy, while kind of ignoring the top armour there. But, well, it's just the way it goes. Right, they've got an enormous amount of guns too, though, so that might be kind of dangerous here. But I am hoping that we are going to score some hits here soon-ish, at least. Come on, we've got good guns. 18-inch guns, super heavy shells. They should be able to do a lot of damage here against them. But they are hitting us much more than we are hitting them. And as Spartan43 likes to point out, you do need to hit the enemy to win the war. So, let's see whether we are going to get there. We might actually use our 5-inch guns against them too. Let's turn it on these transport ships there for a second. The decisive timing in terms of what happens if we all score the same number of points, so we sink the same number of ships, and we've got the same number of guns, the decisive factor then would be timing. So it would be helpful to... Whoa, wait a minute. Why did you just score... That's a 5-inch hit, and you're scoring 400 damage points there. Well, that's good. But I was kind of hoping that we would be dealing with the Battlecruiser first here. Right, nevertheless, yeah, we are coming in 13 kilometers here. That's good. You're being dealt here some damage. That's a lot of damage, really. Right, let's come a little bit more to the Battlecruisers here, because I think they've got more guns. And it would be better to sort of point towards them, hoping that the enemy only scores ricochets here, as our guns are getting very close to them. Right, good amount of damage there against the... Oh, look at that. These sneaky guys actually do have torpedoes. Right, let's do a hard right turn here. And hope that that is going to be enough. I'm going to need to manage that very closely, and I do actually need to go to a different time setting here. Right, I think like that would be useful. Because we don't want to go too far to the right, otherwise our sort of the stern part will sort of break out, and that would not be too great. Right, finally we've done some damage there, but is it going to be enough, I wonder? Right, okay, you know what, let's actually use all of our fire, you know what, maybe on this guy there. So 5-inch guns on this guy, main guns on that guy. And we did score some hits there, but they were really not impressive enough for me to be really happy about this. Right, that's a little bit better, but it's still kind of crummy, and there's more torpedoes in the water here. I feel that we might have a slightly easier time in avoiding these. What's our torpedo range, by the way? So we've got a torpedo speed of 62 knots, 9.3 kilometers. Now, technically we are within range here, so let's try to set off some guys on you. I kind of doubt that that is going to be too relevant, but it might still be useful. Mostly to disperse them and just do some general mayhem there. Right, gracefully avoided these guys, but we are down by 15 percentage points of damage here. We are dealing some damage against this guy, but is it going to be enough, I wonder? We're also doing a slight bit of damage there, so that's nice. But yeah, if you could sink, that would be so lovely. We do need to be mindful that our main guns... Ooh, that's kind of awkward there. Right, let's send some torpedoes your way, if we can, because you are kind of slow. And you are floating so badly already. We are losing here against these battleships. How about you guys? You still have torps. That's interesting. You also have torps. So you did launch 2 torps there? Was that it? Right, let's try to put everything against the Autro-Hungary. I'm going to dial down on the timing here, because at this point we do need to be careful. Right, torpedoes going to the right here. I think if we're going left, that should be fine. Oh, you're falling back now. Okay, that's interesting. Well, fire is okay, but I really need you to flood, don't I? Okay, let's try to do some secondary stuff on this guy. I don't think it does any damage here against these battlecruisers. Come on, that must be a good hit there. Nice. That could do it for him. It could. It could. Okay, at least we did sink a transport ship, so we are not going to come out of this with 0 points. I am thinking that turning to the right here is probably our better shot. Okay, let's turn aggressively to the right. And then we probably need to turn to the left there. Come on, sink him. Yeah, nice. Okay, now the next one, the side-eye here. Go for it with everything that I've got. We are very close, so you must be able to do a lot of damage here. Nice, that's good. We are down to 50%. So this is getting kind of tough. Engine damage. Yeah, we can't really turn now because we've got the torpedoes. Or they've got the torpedoes, and that would be devastating. That would be absolutely devastating for us. Fire flooding. She should be going down rapidly now. Okay, let's turn about. Let's try to face this way. Trying to get our stuff to work there. Right, and we can certainly use our secondaries on someone else. And I think these guys should potentially be melting. Because we've got a lot of secondaries, of course. Let's just take a look here. Yeah, a couple of them have been taken out. But overall we are fine there, I think. Right, and these guys at least do not have any torpedoes. Good hit there, some flooding, some damage. That's nice. Okay, let's turn about aggressively. We're down to 42%, so that is kind of difficult there for us. Right, some engine damage there, that's lovely. But yeah, really, the battleships are at this point really the dangerous part. If we could turn around a little bit more, please, that would mean that they are much less likely to score any sort of damage there. Right, good hits here on this guy. The Supplingenburg? I don't know. Right. It's kind of weird to fight Austria-Hungary in 1940. But yeah. Okay, you might be going down. Let's try to target this guy. 41% on us. 100% on him. But at this range, with this type of gun, that should do a lot of damage very rapidly here. That floating is not going to sink him, but we are reloading already, of course. And we might just do something here. Right, we do need to turn about a little bit faster here, I feel. Because he's also got 14-inch guns. And that does look like looks like promising flooding to me, honestly. So that is kind of nice. I think we have got him. Yeah, we've got him. Great. So that does mean we now need to mop up these guys though. I'm going to try to go for the Habsburg here with the long range guns. And then probably the Schöne is going to be targeted with our secondaries. And simply target someone over there with the torpedoes. That should be okay. Guess we can turn around a little bit faster here. Hopefully our main guns should swing into action. And can we actually see our secondaries firing? Yeah, just look at this tiny row here of ships, of guns that are targeting someone, like this guy. Right, and you can see he's just melting away under fire here. The Habsburg is probably going to be doing a little bit worse. But let's see. I don't think transport can carry torpedoes. That would be kind of bad. Okay, yeah, that's single hit. That's lovely. Okay, let's go for the Styria. With our primaries, secondaries still on this guy. He should be going down. Yeah. Secondaries on Streitbare. Nice. Streitbare secondaries. Primaries on Donau. Interestingly, yeah, no, you're in trouble there, my friend. Right, yeah, I think now this should be done relatively rapidly. We are at half an hour here, so if everyone does go for the same exact design, I think half an hour is kind of a good time, actually. So, yeah, I think I'm going to be fine with that. We are going to melt you. Let's melt you too. Yeah, there we go. That's fine. These guys should be going down. We didn't use a single of our torpedoes, so maybe that was completely useless, but... Right, there we go. And that should be the last two, as we are nearing the 34-minute mark here. But let's see. Yeah, so it's the nearly, ever so nearly 1,000 gun ship that we did build here. It did take quite a bit of damage here, as we were doing a lot of stuff with the enemy there. But yeah, that's fine. You know what? Let me actually grab a screenshot. No, I can't. I'll need to restart the battle just to grab a screenshot. But you know what? For our purposes here, that is going to be fine. So, just take a look at our battleship here again. Battlecruiser, I should say. And all its amazing glory of just like weird gun layout. That being said, thank you very much for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed. Do leave a like and everything, and do check out every one of those videos, especially History Guy Gaming, of course. So, bye-bye, guys.